in beautiful Treasure Island, Florida. Now, let's hear it for our host, our president and CEO, Andy Albright.
I am fired up, guys. The Alliance has never been on fire like it's on fire now. We got the right people. It's the right time, the right place. America is ready for us. They're begging for us. They have deemed us essential, baby. And we got the players. And today we're looking for more players, people that just want to put the pedal to the metal, put the rubber on the road, people that want to put the bread in the oven, baby, and some cash in their pockets. So I'm excited to bring this show here to you today. I've got some leaderboards. I want to recognize some people. I'm excited to look at it because I ain't even had a chance to look at it. So I'm going to be looking at it with you. And then I've got this question that has been you can leave it up. That's great. Leaving that leaderboard up. That is great. We had this thing at the campus the other day, and it was, do you want a believer or do a doer? Like, what's better? And what are doers and what are believers? Because somebody's got to believe we're going to get rich, or believe we're going to change the world, believe we're going to make a difference. But somebody's got to do it too. You got to believe it and do it. So I'm going to debate that back and forth, and then give you my personal view of how I deal with myself. Because I'm going to say this more than once today, right here, between these two ears, behind these two eyes. Right here has been my biggest problem, my biggest struggle all my life. So I want to talk to you about that struggle and how I've dealt with it and how I view myself. And hopefully you can take in your mind's eye, or that eye in the sky that's looking down on you, and evaluate who you are and what you need to do and what you're looking for when you try to build your army, when you try to build your machine that's going to make a difference in this world, change lives, and put some cash in your pocket and change your legacy. Boom, yeah. So I do want to, am I coming in loud and clear? I'm just going to take a break and make sure that we are loud and clear. Are we good, Tia?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay, let's look at this. Top submit business this week. Look at these numbers. Austin Heater, 5 applications for $13,900. What a top 3 for submit. That's smoking. Miles Gatos, $15,300. Robert Wilson, number 1, baby. I always pick on Robert. I go, Robert, you're not used to number 3. This is the place Robert is used to. It's called number 1, Robert Wilson. Matter of fact, I'm just going to do it right. And I'm going to say Robert Sarge Wilson. Number 1 in the country in submitting with 8 applications for $15,500. I know Mona is screaming for him right now. Good job. Okay, where the rubber meets the road, where the bread goes in the checking account, where the Benjamins come in is issue paid. Let's look at what we'll see we got here. Top 12. Jeff Turner knocked out 8,400 issue paid in 1 week, baby. I remember when this was like, oh my God, in a month, he did 8,000, yay! This is week, baby, week issue paid. Brant Swindell issued 9,000 in 1 week. Way to go, Brant. Teresa W. Somebody going to have to shoot me. Wait, I think I got it right here. I think I can do her last name right up in here. Teresa Wishnut, W-H-I-S-N-A-N-T, Wishnut. That's what I'm going to say. 9,000. Way to go. I'm going to be knowing you better, Teresa, because you're a player on Jeremy Patton's team. Dan Gillingham, part of the Fitz team, 9,400 in a week. This is crazy numbers. Junior Korea, he's been shooting for 10 grand issue paid every week. Come in at 9,400. So close, Junior. So close. 9,700. So close. Janina Wilson and Kyle, 9,900. So close. 8 apps, issue paid. Get this one. Jeremico Edwards, 15 applications, Jeremico, for $12,250. Robert Sarge Wilson come in number 4 for issue paid with $15,000 in a week. Those deposits got to be coming in, Robert. That's smoking, man. 7 applications. Marvin Osuna, baby. You know what? I'm going to check and make sure. Oh, guys, not Osuna. It's Atsoy. Atsoy. That's the same team. Marvin Osuna hired Atsoy. Atsoy issued 16,400 this week. We got to get him through some teaching on how to do these index universal lives. And I hear he is a networker and a referral guy like extraordinaire. So the Carries, y'all, that's Carrie's team. Help us with that. What is he doing? We need to share this insight. Not surprised. This guy, when did Paul come alive? Was it January? No, it wasn't January. Was it February? No, it wasn't February. March. In March, he flipped the switch. You could flip the switch today, June 10th. He flipped the switch. Printing money, changing lives, making a difference, helping others. Issue paid $18,223, 14 applications in a week. Wait a minute. Megan Wood has got to be setting another record here. 20,000 in a week. 20,600 issued in a week. 38 applications. She told me, I talked to her one day this week, and she was telling me her vacation schedule. I said, I'm so glad you're able to travel and kick everybody else's butt in production. I want to hear somebody say, way to go, Megan Wood. I go like, I'm looking at my base. I'm looking at Brandon. I'm looking at Cameron. I'm looking at Danny. I'm looking at Marcus going, Megan Wood. I mean, I'm happy for Megan Wood, but I'm not too happy for Megan Wood. I'm like, guys, our base, we need somebody to step it up. Megan Wood, congratulations. We're so happy for you, Megan Wood. We're so happy for you, Megan Wood. Good job. 38 applications issued in a week. Hey, and by the way, I'm betting, I think her name Michelle, your administrative assistant, is just overwhelmed with stuff. She's kicking butt, taking names. So she deserves some kudos too. Smart you having one too. I don't think you had an assistant when you was a waitress or when you was a bartender. I don't think you had an assistant. Now you got an assistant. I'm so impressed. Good job, Megan Wood. That's a heck of a lineup. When are we going to get 5 people pay 20 grand in a week? 5 in 1 week. Well, we had 5 people over 12 grand in a week. I don't know how far it goes down. Let's go down to number 12. Okay, let's go down. Let's look at annuity producers. Stephanie got a check. Stephanie Rodriguez got a check because she paid $135,000 annuity this week. Chris Norris, BAM. Part of BAM, she paid $40,000. Lori Guthrie, she paid $30,000. John Parker, issued $28,000. And Marvin Osuna, I mentioned him earlier. He hired Otsoy. He issued an $18,000 annuity. So top 3 in Foresters. Dan Gillingham, way to go, Dan. Smoking, buddy. That's got to put some cash in your pocket. You've got to be getting close on that Foresters cash leaderboard. Oh, yeah, Dan. You know what would be cool? Go with us on the trip to Foresters, the top 10 Foresters issue paid. Not top 10 issue paid. Number of applications, semi-applications you got. You got 3. Okay, premium is great. Number of application with Foresters is critical because the June contest is number of Foresters cases gets you there. If it's a tie, we look at your premium. So right now, the other 2, Tim Sipe had 6 apps. Woohoo! Issue pay with Foresters. And Jeremico Edwards, 5 apps. Boom, yow. Boom, yow. So I don't know. 3 still might get you in the contest because Jeremico and Tim Sipe might have already won. I don't know, Dan. We'll look at that leaderboard. Actually, that leaderboard is posted on the ARC. And if I were you, I'd be going to the ARC and I'd see where I am on that trip contest. Matter of fact, all of you. That's going to be kind of fun. Scroll down a little bit more for me, Tia. I can see. There we go. Boom. Recruiters, number 10 in the country. Let me see who that is. That is Joseph 2. You only left out 1 letter. It's T-U. Joseph 2. Jeremy Patton's team recruited 3. Courtney Long of Chris and Courtney Long. They got 3. John Thorman, part of Owens, Roberts, Fitz, all that big organization. 4 in WIT this week. Smoking John Thorman. Riddle put in 4. Paul Roberts put in 4 direct to him. Jake and Bell Krause put in 4. Mike and Noah Leventovich, 5 direct recruits. Avian, 5 direct recruits. Jason Mathis has just been smoking for the last few weeks. 6 direct to him. And get this, the carries, 14 in width direct to them. They're determined to win this contest and determined to become multi-millionaires over and over again. Okay, good stuff on the week. Real impressed with the week. Our numbers, overall company numbers reflect this. Strong week. Production and recruiting were up tremendously. That's very important for the agency managers because all the contests they're running and incentives, extreme incentives for the agency managers and just for the overall company. This is very important. So let's take a look at some leaderboards, Tia. See which we got at the top. Okay, this is at Forrester's app contest. So you see Tim Sipe did make progress with that 6. So this is only through 6-8. So really that week was critical. Tim Sipe got out 6 apps. That puts him up number 1. Was he already win? He's already winning. So now he's just doing it for the money. Jeremico's already winning. He's just doing it for the money. And Mia Fennell. Let's look at this new winner. Evan Patzer. I'm gonna go so I can see their names. I know where that is. And I'm gonna pull up where I can see their names. You're right on track, Tia. It's just me. I want to make sure that I can see it. Here we go. Give me a second. I want to make sure. Yeah, that's Patzer. Yep, that's Evan Patzer. Evan, 5 apps. You're going to go on a trip with the rest of us that are already won the trip. Yay. Megan Ferrand, 4 apps. Megan, you had a good time in Burlington hanging out with that crowd. Wait until you go up into Toronto, Canada with us. It's going to be crazy talk. If you ain't never seen the CN Tower, make sure you get, by the way, you get your passports, people. We're going out of the country. We're going up into Canada. So make sure as long as they're open up the borders. Matter of fact, we're going after they open the borders. That's going to be when we're going. So when we're going, when they open the borders, we're going to go up to Canada and have a blast. Alfonso Thomas already won. Way to go, Alfonso. Mike and Noel been selling me on you. Tad Peterson is on track to win this trip with 4 apps. Dan Gillingham with 3 apps. Linda, man, Cats would love for you to win that trip. You'll have a blast up there. Gil Stutling Flores, new winner. I don't want to skip Noel. Noel Wilson is already won, already there with us, part of the Soto team. Katrina Gustin. Katrina, yes, you want to go on this trip, buddy. Jeff Wilhelm. Jeff, you'll love this, man. Look at that. Leventovich right there. Strong. That tell you something right there. Marvin Otsoy. Marvin, you're killing it with IULs. Forrester's apps gets you a free trip to Toronto, Canada. You'll love that trip. Okay. A lot of other people close. You can check that out later. Let's roll down. Let's see what's next, Tia. I'm guessing this is the 90-day race for cash. Any new stuff? Let's just look for new stuff. Stephanie Rodriguez is on track to win $5,000. Megan Ferrand is on track to win 2 down there with a rookie. I don't see any big surprises, but let's scroll down a little bit farther and let's see who's close as a veteran to winning. Evan Patzer got bumped. So Evan needs to beat out, go up here, he needs to beat Robert Wilson. 13-5 with Forrester's, and Patzer has 13-1. Can y'all see that? If you go scroll down, let's look at Patzer. He's 13-1, and the lowest veteran, and Gillingham, you're right behind. Gillingham, that premium does matter. All right, let's go up because it's cash for you. So he's got to beat out Robert Wilson, who's at 13-5 to get that $250. Always a little game contest going on. Okay, scroll to the next leaderboard. So that's the Forrester's Money Fanatic bonus. In 1 week, Megan Wood has already so close to winning $1,000. Menachino, Robert Wilson. Guys, I'd love to see y'all win over $30,000 on life and over $500,000 annuities and pop you with a $2,500 bonus. These are fanatics. These are the people that treat this. Listen to me. Not like an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm in business for like a job. Like maybe we should call them jobapreneurs. We should code name that jobapreneurs. 40 appointments a week. You didn't just come up with another t-shirt. Jobapreneurs, 40 apps a week. Okay. All right. Thinking. These are people that treat it like a job. Like, how much can I do? All right. Let's go Fanatic bonus. Let's go down to the West Coast recruiting. I'm going to make an executive decision and say that the agency managers, we're doing a Florida contest. Y'all went all out recruiting. I'm going to send the jet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to invest that money. I'm going to invest that money to come out there and get y'all back. So Tia, Taylor, my planners, my intention, I have every intention. I always say I'll reserve the right to something happen and we change their mind. But right now I'm intending to come out there and get y'all and bring you to Tampa as planned. Whew. CFO probably just lost his mind. Okay, that's a recruiting contest. West Coast, Jason and Tawny obviously stepped their lead up. Brandon Beal is right there with Jake and Bell. And who in California is close behind? Angela Manzo is right on y'all's rear end. I would not let up. And Paul Roberts has 48. Diane Lampy has 34. So Paul, don't let up. Diane's coming for you. This is Jet coming out to pick people up. Thailand. Megan Wood has just won the extension, and Paul Samanichino won the extension, meaning in less than 6 months, less than halfway through, they've already won the trip and the extension. Now they're working on another couple's trip, maybe mom and daddy, maybe their brother. I don't know. They can bring somebody else. Smoking. And Swindale is right behind them. Katrina Gustin's right behind them. James Hill. That's Katrina Gustin, number 4. Y'all see her. And Mark Hutchinson, that's number 6. All right, let's go to the next leaderboards. Let's go down to the F&G contest. Because people say, when are we going to come see your house? Win this, and you're invited to Don Cesar. And Jane Albright says she's putting on a party here. And she does the greatest parties. She's the greatest server, the greatest hostess with the mostest here at the our St. Pete Beach on Sunset Beach. You got to get here before sunset and pray for a clear sky, even if it's slightly cloudy. Out that window and on that horizon, as the west looking west, when that sun goes down, puts on a show like you would not believe. I mean, all our photographers, we don't need just one photographer. We have multiple photographers getting pictures of couples that earned that trip down here. So it's the Fidelity and Guarantee IUL contest. Smoking. Look at here. Let's see who the rookies are winning. Marty Gonzalez. Marty, part of the Carries team. Kill it with F&G. Out the door. You're in there. You're in like Flynn. Don't lose it. And James Perry. You're right there. I think y'all got to have 5 applications. So push it hard to make sure you get 5 applications. I don't want you to get the premium and not there. Jeremy Patton says he'll be there. Tony Carey is talking junk because they're smoking everybody on the West Coast. Jason, Tony, y'all are right there on winning this IUL trip. Let's look who's number 1. Atsoy with 75,000 issue paid, guys, in less than 6 months. 82 IULs. Tony, Jason, we need this boy man training on IULs. Amaka has 14. Way to go, Amaka. Jane Hill's got 7 issue for 70,000. Smoking. Miles Gatos is coming on strong. Look at Baldwin's got 19. Patton's got 9. Marilyn Martin Ward. Way to go, Marilyn Martin Ward. Menachino and Lego Giannis. That's close. Lago Giannis. Bailick. Let's call her Bailick. Justin and Sydney Bailick. All right, let's see what else we got. Rolex contest. Is anything new there? Mike and Michelle Alleman are so close. One more app. If you got one more. Minerve Profile, you're so close. I think you're 1 app away, Minerve, for getting a Rolex. Joe Walker, you got it, Bo. It's in the bag. You know when they say in tournaments, Joe, it's up to you to lose it because you won it, but you could lose it. Like, in other words, you don't depend on what anybody else does. You already won it. Jonathan and Megan, mama might not get the Rolex, but daughter might get the Rolex. That's Megan Yakey right there, which is Megan Alleman. It's if you go down to Mike and Michelle Alleman, it's Michelle's daughter is Megan. Joe Dukes, Robert, Adam, Marcus, Kyle, Janina, Hutchinson, James Hill, Katrina, Brant, and J.L. Swindell. Oh, Megan Woods stands to get the most valuable Rolex that's in the group, said to be 50% of the value of all of them added together, all the Rolexes divided in half. That's how much the value of that number one is, Megan. And Menachino says he's coming for you, but he's 25,000 away. Don't hesitate, baby. Make it happen. What's next? Rolexes, direct recruiting. I hate to tell y'all, but Riddle is just spanking everybody, even though he's let up a little bit. Cater's coming on strong. Carries and Cater, big money difference, 5,000 to 2,500. Carries made massive strides. Leventovich has made massive strides. That the money for the $5,000, 2,500 is what's at stake right here. Look at all the $1,000 winners for recruiting. Smoking, recruiting. Keep going through the recruiting. We got Power of 10, Jason Mathis, Jason Molina, Kathy Help. We got so many new people that are writing 10 and getting them issue paid. Recruiting leaderboards are on there. All this is on ARC. Go study it if you want to while we're talking. Okay, let's go to the slides. Joe Walker says he's keeping his dadgum watch. It's up to you, baby. It ain't up to nobody but you. So I spent a lot of time yesterday and today talking with our sociologist, talking about the debate. Is doers your best or believers? I want to do another spin on it too. It works like this. Who's the best person to recruit? What are you? Okay. I'm telling you, I'm a little bit of both. I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of rock and roll. I'm a little bit of believer and a little bit of doer. You might judge me as a believer. You might judge me as a doer. But understanding that and getting inside of my psyche is a trick to you getting me moved. Okay, so here's the deal, Sabrina. Here's the deal, Amaka. I got to evaluate and I got to lead. It's funny because I say manipulate myself. I got to lead myself, meaning I have to evaluate who I am and give myself direction so that I, listen to this, not do or believe, so that I get results. Let's put do right here and believe right here. Let's put results up here. Doers, believers, and results. I've got to look at my believer side and I got to look at my doer side and I got to get results. So if I'm talking to you, so if I'm dealing with Cameron, if I'm dealing with Ethan, if I'm dealing with Danny, if I'm dealing with Brandon, I got to say he's got a lot of doer in him. He's got a lot of not a lot of doer in him, a lot of believer in him. And I got to talk to the one that I see the most. You say, well, if you were evaluating people, nope, yep, nope, this one. Which one would you want to pick? Well, I want to ask you, which one would you want to pick? Which one would you want to pick? What do you think is easier, faster, less expensive, less hassle, less draining? You figure out which one's less draining, and that's what we're going for. To be clear, I got a lot of believers in the company. Jeff was talking about them. I said, yeah, I know. We got a lot of doers. What do you want more of? People. What do you want more of? Results. Results lead doers and believers. Okay? Results wipes out so many things. I was asking Jeff, he was like, what do you think, doers or believers? And I got to tell y'all, Albright said, that'd be like saying, do you want Methodist or do you want, what's another one? You want Methodist or do you want non-denominational? Which one you want? I'll be like, which one's getting results? Which one's easier, non-denominational or Methodist? Which one's easier, doer or a believer? And I'm not putting one religion with doer or believer. I'm just saying, to me, when you start asking me which one I want, I'm like, I don't know. I care. I don't know why I care. I'm trying to get me some premium so I can get me some production, so I can get me some promotion, so I can get me a paycheck, so I can take care of my kids, so I can give my money, some money to my guys over there in India. I want to give some money to Merle. I want to give some money to Tim. I'm trying to get some revenue, which is results. Okay. All right. So doers, have you thought about it? Which one would you like? I heard it was a big debate. And Andy Riddle was going like, I want this kind of people. And James Hill was like, I want this kind of people. And Megan Ferran was, I want this kind of people. Well, let's talk about the two kinds of people. So scroll down to number 2. All right. So here's a quote for believers. Or excuse me, doers. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing nothing. Or proper English is, you're not doing anything if you're not making mistakes. That's this famous basketball coach who won all these national championships. The moral of that, from a musical group, I don't want to be your Superman. I just want to be your man, and I'll be super. Okay? I want to be the man, then I'll be super. Not I want to be your Superman. Okay? I don't want to be a super doer. I just want to be there and do, and then I'll make it super. That's the moral. The doers are just get the job done. Just get the job done. I went on my psycho mode there. Just get the job done. Just get the job done. Or another way to say it is get the job done, then be super. That's what the doers think. The believers think you don't become what you want. You become what you believe. Oprah, she's a believer. She believes. She's passionate. She's a believer who's clearly got results, right? Clearly. Look at the houses on the West Coast. I got a buddy who lives like three doors down from her. It ain't like door to door, but 3 lots on the West Coast looking over the ocean. He's a resulter too. We should call them believers, doers, and resulters. Resulters. Is it results or resulters we're talking about? All right. What's the moral of Oprah's quote? Standing on a hill in my mountain. This is another musical group. Standing on a hill in my mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. I got to believe that it's possible and tell myself that it's not that hard. Believe first, then do and get results. Okay? So which kind of person you want? I think it's still up for debate. I'm telling you, I'm looking for resulters. Okay, so Oprah, love to have her on my team. John Wooden, love to have him on my team. I'd love to have him coaching my team. I don't know train. Let's go to the next one. I probably should know train, but I don't know train. Okay. All right. This one's going to be tricky for my slide person. So slide down to number 4, Tia. I should be hollering Billy like I always say. Billy, move to slide 4. Okay. So we're going to go back and forth here between believer and doer. So if you get inside people's head, I used to have, as one of my ex-partners, still one of my good friends. I still partner with him. Hudge, we call him. Hudge would say, you got to get inside the head, like that. His real country. So you got to get inside the head. And I was like, yeah, you got to get inside your own head. What are you? How do you stack up when it comes to getting results? Are you a believer or a doer? And how are you on the results? How do you lead yourself? If I'm leading Andy Riddle, if I'm leading Paul Menachino, I got to lead myself. I got to narrow down the number of people that I lead. I got to pick which ones are easier and less draining, and which one of them I put in that much effort and I get that many results. So when you're hiring people, you're looking for people that don't drain you, people that energize you, people that you put in that much effort or that many leads, you get that many results. So believers, let's look at believing. With love, what is love to believers? They're the people, they just got to feel like you love them and you care. Yeah. And then they'll get passionate. You feel like you got to be loved first? I feel like I got to be loved. I feel like people got to care about me. Then I get passionate. Let's go and look what love is for the doer. Scroll back up. Doers work like this. I gave you this, and you gave me back. I love you. You gave me a bunch of leads and a great GMR and a great opportunity. Thank you. And then I built it big. Sometimes I say to people, God's gift to you is who you are. And what you become is your gift back. So he gave and you gave. It's reciprocity. Some people say, you need to love without reciprocity. Doers don't buy into that. They go like, I gave you, I did for you, do to me. That's love, baby. That's what love is. I give, you give. Compassionate people, love, on the other hand, it's just if people love them. Like, for example, a believer, you could give them $1 million, and then you say, well, I gave you $1 million. You going to go to work now? And they go like, yeah, I don't know if you did it. I don't know if you did it out of love, compassion. I ain't sure. I just know you did it. Like you're trying to get something back for it. And the doer's going, yeah, that's right. That's why I did it. So if a doer is going to give to somebody, he needs to make sure they hear the compassion part. I love you, man. Thank you. You're a wonderful person in the world. And here's some money, or here's a benefit. Believers, if you're talking to them, hey, look, it's a benefit. I love you. It matters. And all the by the way, we're throwing this in on the backside with some money or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So let's go back down here to the believers again. Truth. Tomorrow is going to be great. Tomorrow we can make a difference. Tomorrow is going to be brighter and more beautiful. Y'all heard Tim Go tell you that? That's because his believer side is coming out right to the edge. Tomorrow is going to be better. Let's go down and see what doers say. I know what doers say. Doers say right now. Doers, back up. Went the wrong direction. That's okay. We good. One more back up. The truth. I knew it. Doers are like right now. Dreamers are tomorrow. They believe it's going to be better. Doers say, we got to fix this now. I'm talking right now. So you know, when it comes to something like this, you know I'm a doer because I'm right now. Now, do I ever talk about tomorrow and what we're going to have when I'm 65 and you're 24 and you're going to be 30 one day? Yeah, that's tomorrow. That's my believer side. Well, Andy, how do you know how to treat yourself? I know which ones I lean to, and I know what I got to do to get results. And I know when I'm evaluating people and saying, where'd you go to school? What's your major? When are you graduating? Things like that. I can start feeling and seeing whether I need to treat them like a doer or a believer. Because if a person likes the Redskins and you start talking junk like you're a Dallas Cowboy, clash. If you know they're Redskins, you need to say things like, man, DC is a great area to have a football team. That fan base is strong. I'm not saying I love them, but I'm talking good about them. So if I'm talking to a believer, I'm using some believer language. If I'm talking to a Redskin, I'm talking to some Washington, D.C. words. Got to. When I'm talking to myself, if I'm a doer, I got to give myself some do words. On my believer side, I got to give myself belief words. Okay, let's go back down to belief. Time. Let me see here. We're right on schedule. We're right on schedule. Yep, big time on schedule. All right. Work. Believers need a purpose. You know why? They don't want to work. They don't want to call it work. Here's what they say. If I can find something I love, you don't call that work. You call that passion. You call that contribution. You call that making a difference. So they hide it. I like hiding work, don't you? Call it contribution. Call it changing lives. Doers, on the other hand, scroll back up to doers. What do they call work? I'm obligated to do it. That's what I'm supposed to do. It's my job. Doers are jobbers. Y'all notice that? Doers are jobbers. Just get the job done. You told me to do it, I'm going to do it. Dreamers, you told them to do the work, they want to know how's it going to affect society. How does that affect society? Am I contributing? Do I ever say that? Yeah. Does this make a difference? Yeah. I justify my contribution. All right, let's go back down here to dreamers again, or confidence. Where does dreamers derive their confidence? Who I am is who I am, and who I am is who I am, and I'm good enough. Somebody said, we were talking about this with a group of guys. What's his name? Mr. Rogers. I love you the way you are. That's where they get their power for. Dreamers, I'm different. I'm different, and who I am is who I am. Okay. So if I say to a dreamer, hey man, you're perfect, you're in great shape, just who you are, they get confidence, then they start getting results. How do you get confidence to doers? Scroll back down. Confidence to doers. Comparing. Megan Woods beating the snot out of you. You know what a doer does? You know what a dreamer says? Good for you, Megan Wood. Andy, are you against dreamers? I love dreamers. I love dreamers with results. I want a dreamer to say, good for you, Megan Wood. I'm fine who I am, and I'm going to run 40 appointments too. You say, but dreamers don't run 42 appointments. Yeah, they do, if they want to. All you got to do is say, I believe that I am who I am, and I'm good enough. I'm good enough to do 40 appointments. If I don't beat Megan Wood, it don't matter. I'm just going to do my due. See, you see the trick there? Not telling them that Megan Wood and Robert Wilson and Paul Menachino, they don't care. They don't care. Their self-worth comes from who they are. So if I'm worried about who I am, I just got to say to myself, Andy, you're good enough. And I go, my confidence is going up when I say I'm good enough. Well, now that my confidence is up, I'm going to run 40 appointments. So it's me getting in my own head or getting in somebody else's head. Now, let me tell you something. If you're one of my studs and you're one of my agency managers, I don't need to worry about getting in your head. You need to be worried about getting in your head and thinking this through, how you can get results. Doers, dreamers, resulters. Okay. All right, so let's go to motivation. Let's go down to I like starting with the believers. Motivation. Stars. They're dreaming, they're in the stars, they're in the skies, what it's going to be like, it's going to be beautiful, and that gets them motivated because tomorrow we're going to be in the stars, we're going to travel, it's going to be crazy. That's the dreamers, okay? Let's do it with the doers, see where they get their motivation from. I just got to do what I got to do. They're almost dirt people. I just got to keep my feet on the ground. Stars people, dirt people. Doers kind of dirt people. Just kind of dirt people. Just get the job done. Get her done. That's what they are. Get her done. Feet on the ground. Rubber meets the road. Pedal to the metal. That's the way they think. If you think like that, that's the way you need to talk to yourself. If you think like stars in the sky and you're a dreamer, talk to yourself like that. Self-talk needs to be designed for how you want to hear it. And I'm going to try my best to say it like you want to hear it so you can optimize your results. But if I say it how you don't want to hear it, please don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Please don't say low. Don't stay low because I'm not using your best motivational technique. Listen to me and know who I am and listen, but talk to yourself the way you need to talk to. I'm going to try to. Riddle's going to try to. Menachino's going to try to. Jane Hill's going to talk to. David Ben's going to try to. Okay? Megan Wood, when she talks to you, she's going to try to do it in your tone, but then you got to move on. You got to figure it. You got to get inside your own head. Okay, so now we're on 5. Go down to slide 5. Let me make sure. Yeah. Doers, you don't have to go backwards, but doers are logic. Like, this makes sense. You did this much, I did that much. Okay. All right. We're on number 5. Took some notes, some thinking here. Number 5. Aspects of a doer. Focused, narrow-minded, narrow focus. Maybe not narrow-minded. Yeah, narrow-minded. They're just limited. They don't think about a lot. Survivor. Grab their weapons. They're dead. Let's go. That's the way doers are. It's just the way they are. Action-driven. Let's go. Let's just go. Okay, slide me down to dreamers. Man, there's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of aspects of this program we're dealing with. That's the dreamer. And a doer is like, what do you mean there's a lot to think about? Boom, this is what we got to do. And a broad thinking person is like, huh. So your weakness for a doer, he might miss a side angle. The broader picture, the dreamer might say, this is important. And the doer might go, oh, yeah. And he might broaden his vision just a little bit. So which one's better? I'm just telling you what they are. I ain't telling you who you need to pick. I'm telling you what they are. Searcher mentality. It didn't work. Let me tell you why. Let me give you my reasons. Here it says blame, but I promise you, dreamers, but let me tell you what, dreamers will come up for a reason to blow your mind. You'll be like, that is a valid reason. Excuse is what doers would call it. You call it what you want to call it. Believers will make up a reason, not make up. They will see the reason and they'll have the blame. Motive driven. A lot of times dreamers will twist the motives and say, the reason you're doing this, and I'm going like, bro, there's no motive behind it. But dreamers need a motive. They need higher moral ground to attack from. They want to be on high moral ground. They want to have God on their side. They want to have the rule book on their side. They want popularity on their side. They need a lot on their side to go forward. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to come back to that motive driven. That's a big deal. Let me make sure I ain't getting any signals from my bosses. Believers or doers trying to figure out caseworker versus sales guy. A caseworker versus a sales guy. Okay, let's look at just focused perspective. Focused doers have regrets on stuff they just didn't see and they missed. They missed smelling the roses. They missed an aspect because they were so focus driven. They walked into a wall and knocked a hole in their head because they were so focused. Survivor mentality, they bury mistakes, meaning if there's a war, people get killed, survivors are going to press forward. They forget. Sometimes they say got a CRS mentality, can't remember stuff. Like just happened, can't remember it, moving on. Next problem, next warrior, next battle, next premium, next client. No show, who's next? Charge back, who's next? Action driven for the doers. Idle hands are the devil. If I'm working, I ain't gonna get no trouble. Get busy, stay busy, won't get no trouble. That's the way doers are. I'm just gonna do this. I know I ain't gonna get no trouble. Let's go to the dreamers again. All right. I see all this going on. Focus is what you want to scream at a dreamer. Focus, bro. Listen to this one. Last person on their tippy toes misses the parade while waiting for permission. Dreamers wait for permission. Doers don't care about permission. They'll break in line. They'll break in line. They'll jump up on somebody's shoulders. Permission waiters, dreamers will wait, and then if they go on their tippy toes and everybody else is already on their tippy toes, they don't even get to see the parade. And they broke the rules. They went on their tippy toes. They got on their tippy toes, but they waited. W-E-I-G-H, W-A-I-T. Not wait, but wait. They weighted down. W-E-I-G-H-T-E-D. Weighted down. Are you weighted down? Might be some of that dreamer mentality. You got to get over it. You got to break. You got to jump. You got to tiptoe. Searcher mentality. When I go to blame, and I'm a blamer, okay? I'm a dreamer. I'm a blamer. It's him. I go like this. She did it. Like that. I do that. So you don't do that, Andy. Yeah. And then I go, Albright. You did it. You did it. That gets my mind going because I can go back to the other thing and say, get the job done. Motive driven. You're more okay. For those of you that think you might lean toward dreaming, less of a action oriented doer, listen, there's two statements. They mean the exact same thing. But one of them is really hard for me. It's this. You're more than your worst thing you've ever done. So if you're like me, my mind reflects back to worst stuff I've ever done, and I've got to be more than the worst I've ever done. Another way to look at it is let your mess be your message. So when you look at your history and you think things are worse than who you are, you think the things you did are worse than who you are, I'm telling you, you're better than your past. You're better than that worst thing. Another way to look at it is your bad stuff about you is worse than you are, meaning it's greater than you are. I would say let that message be your mess. So you proceed and use your mess as a message. So if I'm talking to a dreamer who's worried about their past, I talk about their message being their mess, meaning your story is important to other people. We're going to put you on a platform and you can change lives. That appeals to the higher morals, and it appeals to the you're better than your worst mistake ever. You getting to pick which one who you are and what you need to work on and who you're recruiting and how you need to work them. Leaders, managers, how you going to work them and who you going to pick. You're debating this, hopefully, in your mind. Let's go to the next one, 7. Survivors, burying versus blaming. That's a real good word. What Jeff Bright's saying is the doers bury the past, don't talk about it. Dreamers blame the past. Bury the past or blame the past. See the difference? Well, you should talk it out. I guess talking it out's okay as long as you get results. I guess burying it's okay as long as you get results. Andy, results on everything, you got to feel better. Okay, talk it out and then do better. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not a psychiatrist. My job is to get you to win in the game of the alliance. That's my job, is to overcome obstacles, excuse eliminator, blamer, and get you to the point where you succeed like I offered and like your manager told you when you got started, said, you could make so much money and travel the world. And if that ain't happening for you, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I dang sure I'm trying to get you to get what my man told you when he hired you. Okay? Burying it. Robert Wilson comment on survivors. Right. Here's a survivor mentality from Robert Wilson. Shoot to kill now. Ask God for forgiveness later. Bury that thought until you get to heaven and hope you ain't in hell. That's what Robert's saying. Bury that thought. Let's go. That's what doers do. Believers shoot them and then talk about their mess, what they did, and that's part of their message when they proceed forward. They get to talk about it. Okay. So this next part, generational differences, I promise you, believers came out of these errors, doers came out of these errors, but these errors produced masses of different kinds of people. So older people, 26 to 45, like my daddy was what? My dad would be like, hey, get up, boy. We go and plant the poles, rent the fence poles. I'd be like, all right, that's what we're going to do. If you ask daddy why, he would repeat, get up, boy. We're going to plant the poles. A lot of that older generation is what people? They do what they supposed to do. They don't care about why. They ain't care about morals, compassion, the greater country, the greater good. They just do what I got to do. Okay? That ain't bad. This just is what it is. The next older people, which is almost up to where I am, I'm born in 64. This is, by the way, the what people are servant people. They just do. They go do. They serve. Okay. The when people, and I'm kind of in the when to the how person. I'm in between the when and the how. The when is when we're going to do this. You tell them what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. They go, hey, when we're going to get doing. And of course, y'all know what I'm going to say. Right now, urgent. Some other people say we're going to start at 3 p.m. making phone calls. Wednesday, we meeting in Vegas. When? Wednesday, we meet in Vegas. What time? Well, you don't really need to be there until Thursday at 10 a.m., but if you come in Wednesday during the afternoon, I'll be there. When we're going to talk? Well, we're going to talk when we see each other. So if you come in Wednesday, we'll talk then, but the meeting's going to be Wednesday at 10. Okay? Win, people. Now, a lot of times I'm now, but if it ain't now, I'm going to tell you when. Next group of people, my age, 60, I'm a 64, so I can lean over into the 65, is how. How's that going to work? How are we going to talk about this? How are we going to congregate? It's going to be a small group or a big group. How are we going to congregate? How are we going to do this? How are you going to explain stuff? How people, that generation, age 65 to 82, called pragmatists. And then the young ones are the why people. They're the idealists. How is this going to affect the country? How is this going to affect the atmosphere? How is it going to affect my mama? How is it going to affect my grandchildren? Why? No. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? How's it going to affect them people? It's just, why are we doing it? What's our reason? Why? Drives some people crazy when they say why. Let me tell you how to deal with why people. Tell them why. Here's why we're going to do it. Here's why we got to have premium. Here's why we got to do 40 appointments. Here's why we got to have this carrier. Here's why you got to write simplified shit. Here's why. Explain to them why. Don't argue with them, and don't tell them about the Dallas Cowboys if they're watching the Redskins people. That gummit. If they're why people, tell them why. They'll be fine. They'll move on. Then they'll do it. If they're a resulter, if they're a result getter. All right, we've got to be close to the last page here. I think it's 2 more. Is there 1 more? Is 8 the last or 9? Okay, come back to 8. Thank you. 8. Okay, 2 kinds of doers. Okay. Thinkers. Go to 9. Let me see number 9. 2 kinds of believers. Okay, all right. Let's go back up. Thank you. 2 kinds of doers. Thinkers or winners. All right. Thinkers are doers. Now, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be in different categories and you're going to be in different categories. When you recruit a person, they're going to be in different categories. Thinkers or doers, believers, all these different categories. You're just trying to figure out how to press the buttons to help them succeed. Press their buttons to help them succeed. So thinkers think their way into a do. Like, let me think this thing through. Beavers is what Jeff calls them. What we're going to do is we're going to book 40 appointments. So what I got to do is I got to get my leads. Yeah, I got to get my leads, and I got to decide what day I'm going to make those phone calls so I can get my 40 appointments. That's resulters that are thinkers. So let's do winners. Winners buy a boatload of leads, probably buy too many of them. Okay? They just order some leads. Why are you ordering leads? Because I'm going to book 40 appointments. I got to give me a bunch of leads. Might waste some because they're just winners. They don't care. Like a lion. They eat everything. Waste here, waste there, waste everywhere. Too many leads, high ratios. They winning though. Numbers are going up. They winning the prizes, winning the Rolexes, winning the Rolexes, winning the Rolexes. They winning. You got some waste, but they winning. They don't waste time thinking. Hey, they might waste time by making a mess. They might waste materials by buying too many leads, but it's dang sure they're going to make the money now. Think about this. A person who cooks a great meal but leaves a mess behind. Half the watermelon is laid out all over the place, but they got the heart of the watermelon, and it's carved out beautiful, and it tastes good, and ain't got no seeds in it. That's your lion right there, baby. Would you like a lion on your team? Yeah. You want to think to do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay, go down to the 2 kinds of believers. 2 kinds of believers. Feel. They believe their way into a feel. I believe it. I feel good. Now I'm going to do, because they're dreamers, so they're believers. Okay. Don't get caught waiting on a promise, accept into existence. Okay. So golden retrievers are waiting a lot for a feeling. So if you're a golden retriever, you got to be sure talking to yourself to not wait for a feeling. You got to skip from the believing to the feeling to the do. But it's easy. I say it's easy because I'm not one. I'm not a golden retriever. But I've seen golden retrievers do this. They just do it. They go, God, I wish I believed. I wish I felt better. That don't matter. I got to do it. Okay? So we're saying don't get caught waiting on a promise. Accept it into existence. So some people say, if you will do this, you're going to make $1 million a year. Dreamers will say, well, talk to me and prove it that it's going to be there. And I'm saying you gotta believe, you gotta force yourself to believe and feel and then do. Okay, the other kind of believer, and this is where you'll see that I'm more of a believer here. They talk their way into a belief. I'm telling y'all, this is a good idea. I've been praying about it, thinking about it, talking about it. I got this lined up, that's lined up. That's because I'm a talker believer. I'll talk myself into believing. As a matter of fact, when I'm working on something, I told my CFO, I said, let me talk to you about it a minute. Let me just talk to you about it. Or I talked to Jeff Bright. I said, Jeff, let me talk to you about it in a minute. Let me think while I talk, because I think better when I'm talking. Because I'm a thinker and a talker. So I'm going to talk so that I can think, so that I can do. Now, I could be talking so that I can get a feel, so that I can do. But I think I'm talking so I can think, so that I can do. But you might be one of those people that talks so you can believe, so that you can feel, you can do. So you got a roadmap in your mind. And I'm going to try to press the buttons to get you successful, but I can't promise. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a sociologist. I'm a guy that's trying to lead a group of people using a lot of tools and information that's been handed to me through sales books, contests, sales leaders, sociologists, psychiatrists, preachers, and I'm trying to press those buttons, but you got to help me. One of the things I've said is you have to avail, meaning I'm trying to talk to you. You should be trying to talk to yourself as much as I'm trying to talk to you. You trying to win, I'm trying to get you win. What say we meet in the middle? You're trying to win, I'm trying to get you to win. How about this? I want to win, so how about if I talk to myself trying to win? Okay? All right, last slide. Come down in here. This is the debate right here. This is the question. Should I recruit a doer or should I recruit a believer? And the two variables this. It's faster to go from a doer to a believer. It's harder to go from a believer to a doer. Okay? But if you go from a believer to a doer, the believer will sustain longer than the guy who does a do and then tries to believe. Okay? So, I want to tell you, as nice as I can tell you, I'm going to hire them all. Doers take less psychiatry, less psychology. Believers take more finesse, but they last longer and they're stronger. So what do you want, Andy? When I look around, and I've hired 17 people or 27 people, and I see one start getting results, that's what I'm looking for. I know they overcame their doer mentality or they overcame their believer mentality and they started getting results. I promise you, I'm looking for results over believers and doers. Okay. So one of my managers called me and said, I got a way that we can recruit cheap. I said, tell me about it. So he told me, I said, okay. He said, what do you think? I said, well, I've seen you getting a lot of results lately. I really like it. Why don't you tell some of your other friends how that works? He's like, and I said, I got one question though. When it wasn't working before, was that you or was it the system? And here's what he said. I was not doing it right. The system was working fine. I realized what I was doing wrong. I changed what I was doing. Now this system coupled with me, it's getting stupid good results. So I said, all right. If it's getting stupid good results, remember what you changed about you because it didn't look good back here. And then talk about the system. So you can tell some of your friends about the system. So I'm looking at the results of Marvin Otsoy, and I want Jason and Tony to draw out the how to and the why to and the when to from Otsoy. Okay? So we want to figure out all that, how he's doing it and getting results. If he's a why guy, we will get him to tell us the why, but we need somebody to interpret how he's doing it. So this is why we're a team. And this is why I believe that the team of Paul Roberts and Fitz and Diane and the Krauses and the Otsoys and the Osunas and the Minikinos and the Bailics and the Bel Airs, I think this team gets it, that some of us are Goldens, some of us are Lions, and when we put this team together, we're going to get the results like you ain't never seen before. So let's talk about this. Let me go straight to the results and tell you what I'm looking for. Number of phone calls to get the number of contacts to book 40 appointments. So on a t-shirt, it will be number of phone calls plus number of contacts to get number of appointments. How many appointments you want us to book? 40. Why is that? 40 hours in a week? Job, an hour an appointment. Everybody ain't going to show up. You're probably going to see 35 of them. You say, well, that's not a full week. Should I book 45 appointments? If you're a fanatic, you should go for more than 45. If you're not a fanatic, 40 is fine. If you're a fanatic, you're a standard fanatic, 40. So I just want to book 20. Well, just book 20, man. Don't look at me. You're going to get less results. I promise you, you're going to get less. What if I do 20 for 20? You're not going to do 20 for 20. You ain't perfect. You're like everybody else. You got a rear end. You got snot coming out of your nose. You're not perfect. I'm telling you, I know this. Activity is what I'm looking for. I want a person that believes in activity and does activity, and he believes in activity. He feels like activity will work. He knows activity will work. I'm looking for tick, 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 number of phone calls, number of contacts. So when it comes to recruiting, Andy, what are you looking for? Who have you got doing 40 appointments a week? What do you mean? Who have you hired that's making enough phone calls that, look, let me tell you this. Here's the phone. Look at this. Watch this. Here we go. Where's my do get you? Here we go. You see this right here? Who do you have that can press these numbers? And the answer is can. Everybody you've got can press these numbers and create dials. They can. Your job is to get the results. What am I supposed to say to them, Andy? Well, I just went through an hour and something psychological presentation on what you should say to them and how you should fix them. But what if that don't work? You're not doing it right. Try something different. It's a psychological experiment for you to get the job done. When I worked in a textile mill, when I worked in a cotton mill, my boss, Cheryl Taylor, or Tim Driver, or Larry Spale, would come out there and they'd say, keep the blue cans away from the red cans. I'd be like, yes, sir. And sometimes I'd walk around and there would be a blue can snuck in with the red cans. You say, what do you mean it's a can? Like a Coca-Cola can. But there were cans this big around. They had cotton in them. And they would say, you can't mix these. You'll cost us hundreds of millions of dollars. I'd be like, I had to think what I say to these people. And some of these people, they need a candy bar. And some of these people need a written counseling. Some of these people need to be a warning in their file. They be getting them cans perfect. It was up to me as the boss man. I'm talking to my agency leaders. And if you're a budding agency leader, you have to think, how do I get these people to line up the cans? You say lining up cans is the easiest thing in the world. I know, but them people would jack it up. It's the easiest thing in the world. Don't tell me I can't get a guy to dial phone numbers. What? Who can't? Agency manager. You can't get people to make phone calls? What do you mean? He's a believer. I don't care if he's a believer. Get him to make phone calls. He's a doer. We'll get him to make phone calls. You say, Andy, what about me? What about me? Okay, here's what about you. Get yourself. Use some psychology. Say to myself, you can have a Lamborghini and the doors will open like this right here. How you turn this thing on? It's crazy. The doors will open like this right here. I want me a Maybach. You say, Andy, you play little toys like that? You figure out how to get you. You do you, I do me. Hey, like this one. Ferrari. Matt Hefner sent me these. My media secretary, my press secretary sent me these. He wants me to think about it because he wants to keep me motivated. What keeps you motivated? Are you a believer? Are you a doer? So there's two different people we're working on. And then both of these people are extremely important. It's you. I'm working on me. I'm working on you. But you as a leader, your job is to get those cans lined up, get these numbers pressed. So, well, I'm talking to him. How hard is it to get him to press these numbers? He's going to get rich. Here's one psychological thing. I forgot my calculator. Calculator's over there. I'm not going to walk over there because I'm running out of time. Okay. I will calculate the premium based on his phone calls. And I can sometimes show a person, like if I dial my number, 336, well, I ain't going to show you all my number, but I'll dial my number. I'll tell you, 340-3935. So if I dial my number, that counts as a one dial. That's a one dial, okay? And then if I dial it again, all you got to hit it again. It's pretty cool. All you got to do is boom, boom. You just hit that green twice and it dials it, okay? All right, watch this. That's 2 dials. I promise you that that's going to equate to 0 money per dial. But if I can get a person to make enough dials, like I got this lady named Mary, I bet you every single time Mary dials enough numbers, 336-252-4698, every time she dials enough numbers that it rings, I bet you she's making $22 per dial. So I'm going to show them how to make $22 in 15 seconds. Because what I do is I take the amount of money she makes and divide the number of dials into this, and that gives them the dollars per dial. So you can tell I'm an engineer. You take the number of dials, and so if we made $1,000 and she made 100 dials, you take $1,000 divided by 100, and that'd be $10 per dial. So you start looking at each. See, this is one way that you can motivate yourself. This is one way you can motivate another person. In other words, you show them some real practical definition. Okay? Another way is you go like, look, there's a lot of people out there committing suicide. There's a lot of people that have no hope, and we care for them. If you will make 500 phone calls in a week, you will change 2 people's lives. We have statistically, and you can show them who it helps. You can call up Megan Wood. You can call up Eric Belair and Eric Belair and say, I was thinking about ending it all. And you're just like, oh my God, it changed his life. When he found this, he started looking at the future and the hope for tomorrow. So you look at how many, so that's what you do with a why person. And then, so what you're trying to do is get inside their head. And then some people, I got this one kid, I swear, every time I scream at him, he does better. You say, I don't want to scream at him. I don't either. I also don't want to talk about whys. And I don't want to talk about suicides. I don't want to talk about drug addiction. I don't want to talk about nothing. What I want to do is just sit out there on the beach and do nothing. Don't you? The problem is I have a responsibility. See how I'm twisting that to myself? I have a responsibility. I've become successful. I'm obligated. You can tell I'm a doer to get him to do it. So I've got to figure out how to get results, and I've got to figure out how to get other people results. So I start thinking, how am I going to motivate this son of a gun? How am I going to get this person in the right frame of mind? How am I going to get results? Because let me explain something to you. I don't care. I don't. Methodist, Jehovah's, Mormons, Baptists, non-denominational, tall, skinny, fat, black, white, red, from Mexico, El Salvador, Coimbador. Albright don't care. He don't care. He don't care. I was talking to Brandon Beal. He's like, Andy, some people think like this. He said, yeah, I know you don't. I said, no, I don't think like that. I know how I think. Albright looking for some results. I'm looking to give my kids something. I want my wife just remodeled my dad's house. She's texting me, dealing with all these problems. I don't know what all is going on. She's just fixer. She's fixing stuff, but she needs contractors. My son, he wants to do stuff. My preacher, he's got this building he wants to build, this PA system he needs. My minister in India. See, I have a responsibility. I have an obligation, and I'm a dreamer. So So I don't care. I don't know if the word's agnostic, where you don't care which direction. I'm trying to get you successful. I don't want to offend you, but almost like if you would let me offend you and still get results, I'd be okay with that. If you win, I want you to win. I want your family to win. I want your legacy to win. Because if you win, I win. And I'm trying to make a difference. I care. And you just said you don't care, then you said you do care. Yeah, what I don't care is if you're a believer. People say, like, are you one of those people that results over everything? No, I'm a results over believers versus doers. Because there's other things that are more important than results. What is that, Andy? Well, my faith. There you go. My family is more important than results. Well, you act like results is more important. That's because results are higher than television with me. Oh, I can't even believe I said that. I love television. I love that screen, right? Results is higher than hunting for me. I like hunting. I don't like hunting. Woo-hoo. I don't like not hunting. I don't care if you don't hunt. Why are you getting old? Don't get sucked into that. See, don't get sucked into that. Get sucked into your God, your family, and the results. Does that make sense? Like, if you jam results up so high, it's not higher than everything. It's just higher than blaming. It's higher than personalities. It's higher than so many things. And then you can take those results and you can do what? You can inspire others. You can have prosperity. You can have eternity. You can, and what I mean, Andy, how can you promise eternity? Like this: if you got your picture up on the mantle over the fireplace and the grandkids talk about you, if it's in a trust fund, every time they go to that attorney to get some money, they're going to have to say, Daddy, Granddaddy, great granddaddy set this up, and this is his name. Can we get some money out? It's called legacy. It's ongoing. It's eternal. We got our name on the Albright Innovation Hall at NC State. That's legacy, baby. I want to help you get legacy. I don't want to interfere with you, God. I don't want to interfere with your family at all. And people say, well, Andy, if I work a lot, I don't get to see all my family. Who are you counting? You with me? I was talking to Megan Woods. She was telling me how many vacations she went on this year. I was like, oh, my God, girl. She said, we got money. We like to travel. Mike Leventovich and Noel Leventovich, they go everywhere with their kids. The Carries everywhere with their kids. Riddle's bringing his kids here. He's everywhere with his kids. But what he's not is doing waste of time, WTA, waste of time activities, or non-income producing activities. Y'all remember that one? What I'm about is believing and doing so that I can get results while keeping the other stuff intact. It ain't easy to keep everything intact, and it ain't easy to get results. On the other hand, how easy is it to press these numbers? Show me your guy that's making 500 phone calls and booking 40 appointments. Why would I be talking to some people why would I be coaching a person on how to sell insurance and why to sell insurance when I can't get them to make these dials? We got to focus. To build a massive organization, we're going to have to focus on 40 appointments a week, and the fanaticals doing 50 appointments and issue paying $50,000 and $70,000 in a week, which right now Megan is on track to do. Robert Sarge Wilson is on track to do. Paul Menachino, Ben Thoff's right behind him. Mark Hutchinson, Brandon Beals coming on. Hatzer's coming on. Ferran's coming on. So many people coming on strong that the peer pressure from believers and the peer pressure from doers is getting us all to do the do. Okay? Doing the do, believers can do the do. It's not just up to doers to do the do. Believers can do the do. And right now, if you're calling recruits, if you're calling clients, the do is in the numbers. Even current clients, existing clients, How many new people did you talk to recruit? I told Adam Cass the other day, I said, here's your effectiveness. How many appointments you got booked? How many new people did you talk to? Your skill, how many of those did you close? How many of those did you get to doing 40 diet appointments? How many of those did you close? Got to check. How many of those did you get to making dials? In other words, recruit 10 people. Did you get one of them booking 40 appointments? Nope. I'm glad you talked to 40 people. That was nice. I'm glad you hired 10. That was nice. I went on 40 appointments. How many people were there? 35 different people. How many did you close? 30. How much production? 27,000 in a week? Yeah, in a week. Good job. How many people did you talk to, Adam? I talked to 50. How many did you contract? 2. How many did you get making appointments? 1. Woohoo! You see, we got to simplify this stuff so that a caveman could do it. I've simplified it enough that this doer can do it. I've simplified it enough that this is a believer. I believe in you. I believe you're going to do it, and I believe you're going to get results. So I'm going to wrap up. I hope that makes sense. I hope that helped you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on believers and doers, which one you're looking for. You can determine for yourself what I'm doing and who I'm looking for, the doers or the believers who have become doers. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for plugging in. Family reunion for agency managers. Can't wait to see you. And for some of you agency managers on the West Coast, I'm going to see you in the next week. It's going to be fun. Love you. Out of here. Bye.